Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Jawan Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, January 26th. I'm Caleb Mitchell. With me, Landon Raby. It's good Sunday. Happy birthday, Brody. First off, happy birthday to our boy Brody.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to the podcast because he sucks, but love him anyway.
Great friend, right?
Yeah, for sure. We've got a good show for you guys. Going to talk some football recruiting. Big weekend on Rocky Top. Got two commits is two commits. Well, maybe a bigger one coming down the road. Listen, you can be mad about the 3 stars, or you can just whatever. I don't know. I gotta stay off Twitter. That's the bottom line. Yeah. Talk some basketball with Kennedy Chandler getting taken in the second round of the NBA draft on Thursday night, and then College World Series. So, 2 Mississippi State schools. First off, that hurts a little bit.
Just a little bit.
One that you swept.
Yeah, 4-0 against the last 2 teams standing in the regular season. Kind of hurts a little bit, but I mean, it goes to show how difficult it is to win a national championship in college baseball. Ole Miss was the last team in the field, and they end up winning the whole thing. And did it they lost they lost to Arkansas that one game. Other than that, that was their only loss in the postseason. Besides, losing the first game in Hoover, but that was it.
Yeah, that's pretty insane. I wonder what against the most unexpected wins, I guess, in college baseball. I wonder where that ranks. It's got to be one of the.
Yeah, it's got to be up there.
Yeah, for sure. Not that they weren't obviously they won the whole thing. Even going into it, it's just kind of like NCAA basketball, where it's there's going to be some teams that probably had a lot of talent that missed out, and they were almost that. Not that they were the worst team in the field by any means, just how their schedule shook out at the end.
I was just happy it wasn't Arkansas.
Oh my gosh, whatever. I do kind of hate that it's Ole Miss because Lane Kiffin's obsessed with Tennessee. He's going to drop some Tennessee related tweet in the next 24 hours.
Well, the good thing is he never has to prepare to win a national championship because that's never going to happen. So.
No, I'm pretty confident in that one too. Yeah. I like that for sure. Let's jump right into our show then. Let's do some 2 days after, or I guess really during this weekend. You already have 2 commits. You got a guy that he took his last visit in a dead period, that last visit before a dead period, and he's announcing July 4th. So that's a big weekend.
Yeah, and this is a weekend where you kind of lost some momentum. Tamarion Parker goes to Penn State. Carnell Tate goes to Ohio State. So, there was definitely some freak out on Facebook and some, anonymous people on Twitter that just like to have some kind of orange background or something like that. But yeah, this is a weekend to steal back some momentum, and I think Tennessee did that. From, you land 2 commits, and you said this earlier. You can cry and moan about 3 stars and stuff like that, but this, Willie Martinez and Rodney Garner and Tim Banks, if they're willing to offer a kid, that's gotta mean something.
It's not even so much that. It's just
what, how with COVID and everything, how can you say their ranking is the end all be all.
What do you mean by that? What's
Well, I mean, just like with COVID, like there weren't that many camps, so like,
okay. Is
and
this
that
being affected by that as much though? I mean, they've been able to go to 2 camp cycles now.
yeah, maybe not as much, but still like they've been, a 3-star isn't going to jump up to a 5-star
Oh
from
yeah,
their sophomore year to so yeah, I mean, it is what like there's plenty of 3-stars in the NFL. It's
well,
fine. It's
and I just think
absolutely fine.
it's also. I feel like this is how it's going to typically shake out, especially for the Nico commit is, and it's not. It shouldn't be expected. That was an insane get to get a 5-star that early in the cycle, who's that highly touted before you, and that's why his commitment is 100% a commitment. It's not it's verbal. He hadn't signed anything. He hadn't committed to come to Tennessee as far as that goes. He isn't required to. So that's, I mean, I think very much still something that may not happen if Tennessee has a bad year. So when you look at when you get a commit in June, July, it's rarely gonna be the top rated guys. Those guys are gonna wait, and if they like Tennessee, I mean, listen, let's just be honest. As Tennessee fans, you're not getting you're selling a vision. You're not getting people because of what you've done. That's
Right.
just how it is.
Yep.
And a lot of people are going to wait and see how that. So if you get a commit in June and July, just like take everything like that with a grain of salt, because you shouldn't expect to get those 4 and 5-star guys, the highly touted ones right now. Most of them are going to see it. The Nico thing should not be an expectation. They exceeded expectations with getting a guy like that brought in and on board that early. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, that's just relationships, and then after that, if you are landing some of those guys like a Francis at IMG, you don't land that kid on July 4th without Nico.
Well, yeah, and that would be another example, I think, in my opinion, of you're exceeding expectations on the recruiting trail. You just can't expect any team to make an insane jump without doing the actual thing that people want to do, and that's winning. It's a stupid expectation to put on anybody, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, look at the offer list. That's what you need to go off of. What's the difference in the number 500 ranked player and the number 300 ranked player? There's a star difference, but is there really that big of a difference between the two? No, not really. So look at the offer list. We'll start with John Slaughter. He committed yesterday on his official visit. His offer list: Florida State, Kentucky, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. Out of the state of Mississippi, you're able to beat him out for, Ole Miss. He wasn't taking pictures in front of, a fancy car in a cul-de-sac somewhere with Lane Kiffin. So you land him, and then Jeremiah T-Lander, you beat him. You get him, and you beat out North Carolina, which he's from the state of Georgia. You beat Auburn, and I think you beat Florida as well. So, teams that like you want to be able to beat before you think you can compete with Georgia and Alabama, you need to beat them out for recruits. And I feel like Tennessee's doing that right now.
Again, I think it all goes back to the realistic expectations that you put on a program.
Mm-hmm.
And those you talk about, the stars only matter so much. I mean, obviously, it's a great way to easily, for people like us and even that don't pay attention to the game, pay attention to the game part of recruiting all that much. It's an easy way to grade people, but it goes way more into that. And that, but yeah, I mean, look at the offer list. I think especially for Jeremiah, what's his last name? I feel like
T-Lander.
Is it T-Lander?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was weird than that. His offer list is pretty solid. I mean, in a lot of teams, or like you said, the teams you want to beat. And then John Slaughter's kind of the same in that scenario too. Just doesn't have. I don't think he had Florida on there, did he?
John Slaughter.
Yeah.
No, T-Lander had Florida. No, he had Kentucky, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Florida State. What's his bigger ones? He's a 6'2", 194-pound corner, safety-ish.
Yeah,
he might play some nickel as well, but that's a big DB to have back there roaming around. And he's out of South Haven isn't. Go ahead.
I was just saying he's real long too. I feel like he has his reach is that's what stood out to me in terms of how great is he. He's like, didn't impress me with a ton of speed, but I felt like he got to everything.
Yeah, and plays some wide receiver too. Can go up and get the football. So definitely like the ball skills a little bit. So yeah, I just don't get the 3-star U. We have a 5-star quarterback committed, so that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
Also, we have a top 15 class right now. I mean, no one is going to be complaining if you're a top 15 program. So having a top 15 class, I feel like that should be kind of where Tennessee's at.
Right now, not long term, you'd obviously like to be in a better position.
Right. But I mean, a year ago, this place was underwater.
Yeah. For right now, I'm not. Am I ecstatic? Yeah, I'll temper my my joy and expectations, kind of like I am about Josh Heupel right now. But as far as being like, all right, you can build something off of this, then yeah, I feel good. I feel okay.
Yeah, feeling good. Yeah, you just got to keep building on that momentum a little bit. It seems like
it's when you stop building when it scares you,
right?
When you that's, and you see it with all these with the last 2 programs we've seen come and go, especially.
Yep. Yeah, you saw everybody kind of mention they had a great time on the lake, tubing and stuff. So, it seems like Tennessee had a good weekend, and some nice weather probably helped that out a little bit. It's not so great right now, but got it out this weekend and got on the lake. Francis, Hunter Osborne, Jeremiah Cobb, Jordan Matthews, Jakeem Jackson. I mentioned Nico. Ethan Davis was back in town for his official visit. T. Lander, Slaughter. I feel like I'm missing Christian Conyer. So yeah, a really big weekend for Tennessee, and I think they hope to land Francis. He brought his family down. So here's the thing with Francis, like people are like, oh, he lives the closest school to his family would be USC. Yeah, but he goes to IMG. So like, is that really a factor? Maybe, but it seems odd that you would send your kid to, Bradenton, Florida,
right,
and then just to have him go to USC. Like, why wouldn't he go to? If that was a big deal, why wouldn't you send him to like Mater Dei or De La Salle or something like that in California? Bishop Gorman, even in Nevada.
Good point as far as distance. Yeah, that probably isn't too much of a factor.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll see. Gotta like Tennessee chances. After he just coming off that official visit and then announcing he's gonna do something July 4th. I think that's big. So hopefully you land him 2 5-stars. I don't think anybody's complain about 3-star U if you land Francis.
Oh well, first off, yes, there are. Second off, this would be the one recruiting or commitment show I would accept. I said no more hats for commitment shows. If he had fireworks that, lit up in whatever school he was going, that'd be pretty cool.
Or did they like the Haka dance? That'd be cool too.
I don't know what that has to do with July 4th, but yeah, that's.
Well, I'm just Samoa. That's the only thing I was. Maybe he comes out with red, white, and blue shorts like everybody else in America. Or did you ever get the Old Navy T-shirts with the flag on it?
Oh yeah,
I feel like everybody had
the
those.
$1 flip flops.
Oh yeah,
$1 flip flops. That's what he needs to do. Just $1 flip flop presentation.
God, back when Old Navy was good, man.
Dude, Old Navy's still good. Don't sleep on Old Navy.
No, they're trash.
You're sleeping on Old Navy.
Trash.
Dude, sir, I'm gonna eat this banana. It's sitting in front of me. I'm sorry.
You're gonna eat what?
I have a banana pudding milkshake, and I've got to eat it. It's sitting in front of me. It just looks delicious.
I thought you said banana pepper, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, milkshake, banana pepper milkshake.
Because I just saw you eat it with a spoon. I'm like, that's kind of strange. Just one banana pepper. A single banana pepper is sitting in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I must eat it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. We're hot.
I'm interested to see your class names. Like, what do you think? I mean, I feel like they're addressing a lot of them right now. Obviously, I can see maybe more like graded out talent, but I feel like they've done a good job of addressing needs.
Yeah, I feel like one thing you need is, I think you'd like to add another running back. I think Will Stallings is, a good back, but I feel like you could use maybe a speedster or a kind of a third down back if you needed one of those. Maybe a little scat back or something like that. I know Cam Seldon could maybe fit that mold. He could also play wide receiver, but having Jeremiah Cobb in this weekend out of Montgomery Catholic in Alabama, I feel like that was a big one they'd like to get in the mix for. I think Auburn and Clemson are his biggest schools, along with Tennessee. Jordan Thomas, 2022 signee, also went to the same high school, so I'm sure there was a pool there. I saw that they had a picture together. And one of Tennessee's photo shoots this weekend. So that was, I don't know. I would like to see another back. I would like to see a taller wide receiver. I think Nathan Laycock was, I forgot to mention him earlier. He was on his official visit. That's somebody that they would like to get in more with. He's from North Carolina, so North Carolina is a school to beat there. I think defensive line.
Yeah.
Just bigger defensive linemen.
And that's the thing too about Tennessee next year, and you won't entirely know. Probably, I mean, it could be as late as I guess start of spring practice, seeing guys decide to come back, because there's still plenty of guys left with COVID years on the roster. But I feel like Tennessee is just losing. I mean, they'll lose quite a bit of talent, but it's also just bits and pieces of certain positions. So I feel like they've gone out and just addressed about every single position need as far as just getting bodies in here. Like you said, going back to running back, love to see more of a speed type back and, and addressing needs like that. But I feel like as far as just plug in position, I'm pleased with quite a bit of the talent that they've gotten at spots. I mean, you've got Caleb Herring committed, and then obviously quarterback are address needs that you've already addressed. So I feel like they've done a good job of that. And I mean, obviously, to see stuff kind of pan out, but yeah, I've been pretty pleased.
Yeah, I mean they've got some in-state guys, but they've also gotten people from, Will Stallings is from Nevada. You got Nico from California, John Slaughter's from Mississippi. They got people from Georgia. So I like how they have a good mix in that as well. It's just not all in-state kids. You got a kind of a little bit of everywhere in there, and then I'd like to see some more cornerbacks. I forgot to mention that. You're kind of set in the back end with Jack Luttrell, Sylvester Smith, and John Slaughter. Those are kind of your safeties in this class. But I'd like to see some more like true corners. You kind of addressed that need this last weekend before the dead period with Jordan Matthews and Jakeem Jackson, Christian Conyer. Those are three guys that Tennessee would like to get in this class as well. But yeah, I just think they've kind of addressed the guys that are leaving, like Caleb Herring. You're going to lose Byron Young after this year.
Yeah.
Safety, you're going to Trayvon Flowers, Jalen McCullough is probably gone.
You're losing a lot of people from the secondary total.
Yeah. Linebacker and Jeremy Banks, Jawan Mitchell. I saw Jawan Mitchell last night at DGB.
Nice.
Playing some pool. Yeah, I like the offensive lineman. Definitely, if you add Francis, so defensive line, cornerback, and maybe another running back is what I look for Tennessee to, just add to that checklist.
Go win some ball games. Go win some ball games this fall. People will want to be here if you go win some ball games. It's that simple. You've gotten so many people close. They're like, people are interested in it. Go, please win some ball games.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, so Nico's coming in, highest rated quarterback Tennessee's ever signed since they started really keeping rankings. Are you all in? Like, do you believe that he could be the next quarterback, or are you kind of holding the water a little bit because people thought the same thing about Harrison Bailey too?
Well, first off, you always got to be
A little cautious.
You've seen it time and time again. It's statistically more likely that he's not that good, if we're just being honest. Now, if you look at him from just someone who watches football often, and he looks really freaking good.
Yeah.
And then people smarter than me, and it makes sense that he has the tangibles to fit really nicely into Josh Heupel's offense. So it's a kind of best of both worlds there. There's not really any questions about it. So that makes me feel better. I don't see any reason to believe that he's not all he's hyped up to be, but it just is the way it is. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I mean, for all we know, Arch Manning won't be all he's cracked up to be at Texas, for all we know. It just is the way it is what it is. But I think you can't convince me he's not going to be good right now.
So yes, you're going to say yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone should be. If you, I don't. How can anyone sit here and say just flat out it's not going to work out at Tennessee? What do you have to go off of? Just
probably just
other
the
people?
history of Tennessee.
but it's other people. It's not him. I mean,
right? Yeah.
Let's wait.
Yeah,
let's wait and see. And Harrison Bailey, I know you compare him to Harrison Bailey. I feel like that's just a lot different.
I agree.
He was highly rated, but he also came into just a really bad situation overall. It doesn't seem Nico may not have the job day one when he comes in. There's going to be some good quarterbacks in front of him. Joe Milton will still be here, right? He had 3 years.
Yes.
So and we've seen Joe Milton play, but that's also
he could if he wants it, I guess.
He has a freakish amount of talent, so it's hard to ever completely put him out of a race, in my opinion.
Yeah,
just because he's gonna wow you. He is. So no, I mean, but I don't have any. No, I'm a yes, but I think everybody should be a yes. Is why I said all that.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean the Harrison Bailey thing. I think just this offense didn't fit him anyway. And when you look at where he transferred, you're like, okay, he wasn't a 5-star.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, no offense to the running Rebels at UNLV, but let's be honest. Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if he starts as a true freshman. I don't know if it's fair to put that kind of expectation on him. But I do think it's going to be interesting off season when he gets here.
For sure. And seeing how Tavian looks too, well, you don't really know, and you may not know at that point either. By the time that that QB competition starts up, you still may not know. So yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see Heupel. How I don't want to jump too far ahead of this season, but it will be interesting to see how Heupel will handle his second QB competition. His first one, listen, it's a great F. I'm sorry. I'll be fair to say I know it's probably hard to evaluate Hendon Hooker because he makes a lot of plays after first contact, or when you would blow the whistle dead in a normal practice. So I'll be fair to Heupel there, but you just have to call it for what it is. His first QB competition was an F. Hendon Hooker was the clear number one. It's unfortunate. It is what it is, but that's just the case. So it'll be interesting to see how he handles the second.
Yeah, I will give him this. He did when the first quarterback wasn't getting it done. He did make the switch. And
technically, Joe Milton got hurt first, didn't he? I thought he came out of the game for an injury. Whether it's, I can look it up. Well,
I don't remember it. Maybe he did. But still, he didn't waver. Like, even if it was an injury, Hendon Hooker, he's stuck with Hendon Hooker. Not like
that's fair.
JP.
I should count that in. Yeah, it says left the game with an injury just before halftime. So yeah, so I'll bump that up. We'll call it a C-, because I agree. He did. A lot of people would go back on the guy they believe to be the number one, but when Hendon Hooker outshone him, he called it.
Yeah.
He called it, made the decision, and went on. But yeah, it was because of injury when he first exited the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, no, you talked me out
it
of it.
sucks
I
that
was
an
being
injury helped us find it, but and in scrimmages, like like you mentioned, it could be an F because he wasn't the clear cut favorite. But when you're scrimmaging and everything, I don't think there was anybody that that thought Hendon Hooker was. I mean, watching the spring game is a perfect example.
Yeah.
So, guy's just a gamer. Some people are. I don't get it, but some people are.
To be
Josh
fair,
Dobbs is the same way.
The SEC scrimmage, or the SEC scrimmage, the spring scrimmage. Sorry, I just saw someone hilarious. The spring scrimmage. It's a practice. I mean, there's still not,
sure.
like you said, he's a gamer. There's not game aspects in it. It's way closer to a practice than a game. But yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it's got to be hard to evaluate when you do have a guy like Joe Milton throwing the ball anywhere he wants to. And then Hendon Hooker, who, like I said, I mean, a lot of his plays are like Josh Dobbs. It's breakdown and he makes something happen. I mean, that's just the way it is. So hopefully we get better play from our offensive line this year. We get better play from Hendon Hooker, especially from the get-go. I would hate to see a struggle against Akron. That would I think
there was a lot of hype about us playing Bowling Green just because it was his first year, new quarterback. You know, there was some excitement, and even though you won that game, it wasn't. You didn't dominate.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't the best. And I mean, I understand how those games kind of operate. Sometimes it's just tough to completely dominate for 4 quarters just because of the way you play those games. But I think you do go into Pitt the next Saturday. I think it's an important game for the offense to look as close to good as possible before. Yeah. I don't know. How many new wrinkles are you throwing in? What film? That was my argument to Butch Jones. You ran all this vanilla crap against these terrible teams, yet you still got out schemed. Explain it. There's enough film on you out there. Just go play ball.
Well, and Tennessee has the Georgia State game to look back. Hey, you don't want to be too vanilla.
No. Well, and that's just that was terrible. That made me question my fandom. I won't lie to anyone.
And a little unfair expectation on Josh Heupel for me. You have to beat Florida this year.
I'm almost in that same boat with you, just because of the mess they're in now too.
Yeah, I mean they're not good. You haven't beat them in so long. Again, it's not Josh Heupel's fault, but I feel like this program definitely needs to knock off Florida. You get them at home. You do a quarterback that you haven't had in a long time play against them. You should have beat them last year.
Right. No, you say it's unfair to put I don't think you're putting necessarily the past on it. It's just this has been one of the best years that's lined up that it's like Tennessee on that Saturday is probably a better team.
I think we're favored. Which
right.
When has Tennessee ever? When have we been favored against Florida in the last 10 years?
Yeah, I would think probably in 16 we were, right?
Maybe.
I know it was a come behind win, but
we had to be.
If we weren't favored,
it had to be
really close.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe straight up just money line
pick. Yeah.
No, but yeah, that's got to be one of the only ones.
Yeah,
surely. Yeah, it's. I don't think it's unfair to ask for that Florida win. I mean, this is when it lines up, and I think there's going to be a lot of listen, I don't think Spencer Rattler will pan out at South Carolina, but if he does have a pretty good season, that's a team that could scrape a few random wins off the board they probably shouldn't have had.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee included in that.
God, I'll be so upset.
Right, and I mean, not that he has a ton of talent around him, but a guy like that changes the game, and they aren't in Vanderbilt's position.
Yeah, a douchebag like that, it's going to hurt a lot worse if you lose to him.
Oh, for sure, for sure. And listen, if history tells us anything, we want to talk history. If history tells us anything, he won't even finish the season as a starter.
Yeah, they'll have to get another grad coach to go out and suit up.
I like it. I'd love to see that. I should have tweeted my I don't know what's South Carolina's history with quarterbacks. What's Shane Beamer's history with quarterbacks to tell you that Spencer Rattler's going to even come close to being a solid, being an all SEC quarterback.
God, I can't wait till they're celebrating a win over like Vanderbilt or something.
He threw for like 365 yards or something.
By a touchdown, and Shane Beamer's out there celebrating, and I'm straight up tweeting that of him covered in that mayonnaise.
Hey, it's a big win, baby. Little mayo action.
God,
I think I don't know. I think my hate for South Carolina comes so much that they've just never ever really been better than Tennessee, and they think they have been forever.
Yeah,
it's like even in your best seasons, you were just right there with Tennessee.
Yeah,
you probably lost to them too, and Butch Jones.
Yeah, you had a losing record against Butch Jones.
That's why they hired Will Muschamp. They're like, we're sick of losing to Tennessee. He's gonna get at least one on them.
Yeah.
I hate Will Muschamp too so much. And what an incredibly stupid hire by South Carolina. I love it. It was fantastic to watch unfold. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, what's up with them? I mean, I know like people like believe in Beamer, but you can't really think that that's going to be a great hire.
Nothing points to it being a good hire right now. So.
Right. And like his resume wasn't good. Like everybody's like, who the hell is Shane Beamer?
I think most people just knew who his dad was.
Right.
Kind of like Dooley.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. Oh. So South Carolina just hired their Derek Dooley. Good for them.
I hope so. But see, but the funny thing is they won't know for a while because Derek Dooley was kind of exposed. He's probably exposed earlier than that. But when you saw him losing to Kentucky, that was kind of the final nail in the coffin. You're like, yeah, okay. This guy's really bad.
Yeah.
I think that was the Kentucky game, too, that a wide receiver played quarterback.
Gross.
We somehow always talk about the most miserable losses.
Oh.
It always happens. We always get there. It may take us some time. We may do it from the get-go, but it always happens.
You just got to laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Cry.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's
Tennessee football. Not a lot of them in my adult life, thankfully, but only a few. The BYU game, I was willing to. I almost put the dead chain on our program. Death. I thought we were done.
Well,
I guess the jury's still out. But
the Florida game in 2017.
I didn't think we were dead. I just thought we were stupid. When you're really close to death, always when you're stupid, but that was one of the more miraculous losses I've ever seen in my entire life. Truly.
I think the Kentucky loss at home 2 years ago.
No, that one, but Tennessee should have won Florida. They should have won that game.
Oh yeah.
That's why I say one of the most miraculous losses. You literally handed it to them. Kentucky game, you just got beat. You were just bad.
So what does that Georgia game look like if Juwan Jennings doesn't catch that Hail Mary? Is that another miraculous loss?
Yeah.
Yes. Handed it to him?
100% miraculous loss.
God. We just mentioned three of those losses, and three of those games, one of them was almost lost thanks to Juwan Jennings, but all beat deep. All three of them beat deep.
Kentucky, we weren't beat deep. We were just beat.
Oh, you said BYU. So I was thinking BYU, Florida, and that Georgia game. Yeah.
I thought you. Okay. Yes. No. You're right. All of them, you let someone get behind you for whatever reason.
Makes no sense.
Maybe Josh Heupel never will get beat deep since we keep literally everything in front of us to the point that it pains me to watch.
Yeah, it hurts. 3rd and 15, 16 yards. Here it comes.
15 and a half.
Yeah.
Tennessee, though.
I knows.
Tennessee gets 3rd and 15, and we get 14.5 yards, 14.75 of a yard. Oh, it's brutal, man.
They don't gain 15 yards.
Dude, and that still irritates me about the Ole Miss game. Is like we never had that first down, but God, what a terrible spot. What a just atrocious spot.
Yep. Causes a touchdown.
The Tyler Barron touchdown. I hate refs. I hate refs so much.
Joe Milton throws it out of the back of the end zone on 4th down. Oh, you can't make this stuff up.
We didn't deserve to win that game. You're absolutely right. And then can we talk? Like, do you really like? I don't care that people call us trashy for it, or classless and all that other garbage. Like, that doesn't bother me. It is what it is. Every fan base does it, but it's so like when I look back on it, that night was so annoying. The throwing beer cans, water bottles, mustard bottle. I respect someone taking their moment to get Lane Kiffin with a golf ball. That I do respect. But all of it, I'm just like, guys, can we please stop?
He's going to suit up for South Carolina next year. Whoever threw that ball.
They'll need him. Yeah. They'll need him. No, I was just, can we please watch football, please? That's why I came here. And then I realized, like, we're not out of this game yet. It hasn't ended.
I kind of hate that we're not, like, I get, like, throwing a mustard bottle because mustard is the shittiest condiment.
Relish?
I don't really consider that as a condiment.
Well, okay.
It's more of like a topping, I feel like.
It's a condiment. When you go get condiments at Neyland Stadium, relish is an option.
But I feel like it's a topping.
The point, mustard is a funny
chili
thing to throw. Ketchup's not that funny to throw. Mustard is, though.
Yeah, like who cares if you waste mustard? That's ugh. But I hate that we're kind of known as the mustard bottle people now.
Well, we've just adopted it, which doesn't help No, it is what it is. I mean, like I said, it doesn't bother me. It's just, it got very annoying. That game got very annoying fast.
Yeah, I get it. I was that mad too.
Did you throw anything?
No, I didn't. I didn't have anything to throw.
You didn't have a water bottle or anything with you? Coke can?
I think it was gone in like the first quarter.
You had a beer cup with you? You didn't buy beer that game?
It was empty. It wouldn't have made it.
There's no way I bought beer that game. Too much was consumed prior.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Game, so
usually somebody buys me a beer. That's not a flex. That just somebody always gets me a beer. Somebody.
I got your friends.
I know, dude. Sit up there.
Nah,
ZZ11. Bring me a beer while you're at it.
You kidding me? Let's talk some. Let's flip to some basketball.
Okay.
Football might be bringing us down, and we're trying to get fired up for this season.
I am fired up.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be a fun one. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm interested. The position I'm most interested in seeing. I'm interested in seeing who wins that starting linebacker position beside Jeremy Banks.
Okay.
Is it Juwan Mitchell, Aaron Beasley? Can we get some better play? Is it somebody else? Can Elijah Herring get in there?
Yeah, it's definitely a. I mean, but I also don't. I'm not necessarily excited for that one. I'm excited though for who are the two other wide receivers? Well, I guess so. Maybe who's the third? It's probably a toss up. Maybe Ramel Keaton.
Yeah,
maybe Jalen Hyatt. I think Jalen Hyatt has a lot to do. What?
You think are you talking about the starters?
Yeah, who the other two starters are. I mean, we know Cedric Tillman, and then who's filling out the rest.
I think it'll probably be Jalen Hyatt and probably Brew McCoy, if I had to guess.
Oh yeah, I mean that Brew McCoy's a good chance to be started there. Yeah, no, but I think it's very much I think up in the air.
Open.
Yeah. That's because I think that one is gonna. There could be some guys that shine there. Maybe.
Yeah. Who's behind them is what I want to know.
That too. I think you have a lot of bodies there and a lot of capable bodies. I think it's just finding who's going to be the most consistent, who's going to be the better of that group. I think is interesting.
Yeah, you got the Jimmies, you got that buttload of freshmen that you signed last class, and Caleb Webb, Chaz Nimrod, Squirrel White, and then I don't think we mentioned this last week, but Cam Miller came in as a wide receiver, but it looks like he is playing defensive back at this point.
Oh, interesting.
Looks like he went through spring as a wide receiver, but I saw the picture of, how everybody kind of went out to dinner and they posted the pictures on social media. He was with the defensive backs. So looks like he is on that side of the ball right now, which, hey, whatever.
Move some guys around, find where you fit.
Yeah.
You're young too, so I mean.
Go make some plays. Yeah, let's get to basketball. I tried to end it on a good note.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, Kenny Chandler staying home, staying 901.
Yeah, 38th pick in the draft, second round to I think the Spurs actually drafted him, traded him.
Yeah, why do they do it that way? Why do they not just allow the? So dumb.
I don't have any clue. No clue, but yeah, going back to Memphis, and that was kind of like a lot of mock drafts had him going around that spot to Memphis late in the first round, and then it seems like I think they passed him up twice, and they end up trading for him later on in the draft. Which for Memphis, I mean, you got to be ecstatic. Like you're thinking, like, hey, we could get this kid in the first round. He falls. Height had something to do with it. I'm sure free throws didn't help either. I don't know. I don't understand why everybody pegged him for a first rounder, and then the draft didn't make sense anyway. Jabari Smith was minus 155 on Monday, and then when it got to draft night, he was like minus 2,000 to be the number one pick, and he goes third. So
yeah,
it didn't make a lot of sense, but yeah, good for him. He hears his name called. It's just weird to me that Grant Williams and I think Admiral, Keon and Jaden all went before. And I know size had a lot to do with that, but I mean, when you look at production and just playmaking ability in general, Kenny Chandler is by far better than all four of those.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, a lot of people won't say size was a complete decider. That kind of blows my mind, but
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, because like in your ranking based on your translation to the NBA, and if so, that doesn't make any sense. How was he a 5-star if he was just small? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. He's going to Memphis, going back home.
I'll say I'm not shocked that he fell that low. I'm shocked that it would be all about size. That's what would surprise me.
I mean, there's a guy that Kentucky averaged like 3 points per game that went like 7th or 8th.
Checks out. Checks out.
Whatever. I mean, it's a wings league. I think KD tweeted that on draft night, and it for sure is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he probably has a chance. He's already worked out with John Morant. Knows that city, so I'm sure it's going to be an easy process for him to kind of get used to everything, and hopefully he finds a role in the team.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that kind of all takes place. It's definitely interesting to be in a. I'm shocked. I'm interested to see how Memphis uses him and where he can.
Yeah.
How they want, where his expectation to contribute comes from. Obviously, I expect him to be in the G League, but when will his time come, I guess? And what does it look like? I don't know enough about the NBA. The little I do know, Memphis didn't make a ton of sense, so I'm curious.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think he's a starter anytime soon, especially in Memphis with John Morant. But, I mean, Grant Williams was kind of the hero of Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals, so carve your role out, and be the sixth man of the year. There's an award for that. So
Good point. Good point. College World Series. Congratulations, Ole. I'm really just happy for you, Landon. I'm really happy for you getting that win. That's big dubs.
I needed that. You got a big win yesterday, though.
Got a huge win, and I almost overthought it. So glad I didn't.
When you sent it to me, I was like, dude, I don't even know what this is, but yeah, sure.
Did you play it?
I didn't. I didn't know what to really go off of until I think the first game already started. So
that you had nothing to go off of except my word. And you
I didn't even know where to go to. I was like, what are these teams?
Oh, why didn't you just ask?
I was busy yesterday. I really didn't.
And to be fair, I feel like it's obvious. It's not baseball. It's not NHL.
Yeah, it's stuff that I just don't know. And sometimes I do it, but yesterday I just like didn't. I was like, I don't know these teams. I'm definitely not gonna even attempt it.
Now you know.
Now I know. Yeah.
Stay alert.
Believe Caleb.
Oh, those were I won't send you all bad beats. Any questionable ones I keep close to the card because they're usually the better odds too, and I don't want to ruin my juju by giving you guys free money.
I freaking played. Dylan sent those UFC ones yesterday.
Yeah, what the hell? You don't know crap about UFC.
I know. I was just like, oh, cool.
Bad night.
I mean, I didn't like. I just put them on a parlay.
Oh, okay.
I think maybe I played one of them, but I only put like $10 on it. I didn't.
Gotcha. Fair. That's fair. Back to the College World Series after our gambling tangent. Ole Miss. We talked about it on Thursday a little bit in terms of just the two more unexpected teams to be there. Sure enough, they're in the final.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost went and put a lot of money on Ole Miss after Saturday night. They look so much better than Oklahoma. I didn't know how you give that up in game two. How much better you look Saturday night. So should have done it. Landon got in on it early. Made a lot of money doing it. Smart man. Listen, I'll never root for an SEC team to win it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe in that conference pride bullcrap, but I'm also not upset to see an SEC team win it, if that makes sense.
Well, I'm never going to cheer for one either, but I'm also, if you ask me who I think is going to win, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the team that's in the best conference in college baseball.
Yeah, no, 100% agreed. Yeah.
Even if they pitch their ace before the championship series, I don't care. Tim Elko, Gonzalez.
I called Ole Miss before the SEC tournament, by the way.
Wait, what?
I called Ole Miss dead.
Dude, everybody thought they were dead. They're going to fire their coach.
Yeah,
they're last in the SEC standings in, I think, March or May. I think May. Ofer and Hoover, last team in. It's meant to be. Baseball is a crazy sport. It's insane. It makes no sense. It's a game of failure. Millionaires fail 7 out of 10 times. Some more than that. But the really great ones
Gary
fail.
V stuff right there.
Huh?
You just went Gary V on me.
I mean, it's true. Like 300 is like a great average.
Oh no, it's 100%. It's
and it's stupid. Like it's so dumb. Oh my god, I'm so jealous of Ole Miss fans. Like watching them celebrate, I'm like, damn, it could have been us. It really could have been us.
It's gonna. I do believe it's gonna be us one day. So that gives me.
Yeah,
I believe. I think sooner rather than later too.
Yeah, I think Tennessee's got a really good. That pitching staff coming back is incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, just got to plug in some pieces, and
you really don't. You lose a lot of wow factors. You really only lose one big productive piece. In terms of guy that churned out wins for you, that's Redmond.
Oh, pitching wise,
yeah. You only lose one big production piece in that pitching staff.
Blade,
yes, but I mean. He didn't start until I mean, so in terms of production, you still have guys there that can do similar.
Yeah, I'm interested to see.
Not a knock on Blade at all. It's just kind of how the season shook out. You had a lot of production before he before he came back. I mean,
Yeah.
just is what it is.
Yeah, it seems like Camden kind of posted that he's probably gone. I thought Christian Lawson's post on Instagram was kind of
I didn't see that.
it just seemed like a goodbye. Which hey man, if you go get drafted, I'm not going to sit here and dog you for it. That was one I just expected to be back.
Right.
Will Mabry is somebody I'm sure that they would love to get back that is draft eligible. You know, he's a guy out of the pen that probably had the best stuff wise, especially velo. You know, he was 93, 94. You know, him working on that cutter, I think is going to probably make him some money. So, you know, if he decides to come back, I think he's probably your best pitcher out of the pen, that reliever role. If not, that's another guy that you're going to have to replace and need to get some production out of somebody else.
Yeah, if Will does go, that's a hits production for sure.
Mhm.
More than just talent. Yeah.
Yep. Other than that, I mean, like this year, I mean, you have to. Hopefully, there's guys behind these. You know, Trey Lipscomb, Drell Ortega, Gilbert, Beck that are hungry and ready to go. Because you're gonna need that production if you want to kind of build on what you did this year, and you know, with kind of build behind that loaded pitching staff you have. You have to have some of those guys. LSU, I mean, they just transfer portal after transfer portal. Christian Little, they get from Vanderbilt. They land Tommy Tanks. I just saw before we got on that they hired the Twins pitching coach. So, you know, they're expecting to have a big year next year. Dylan Cruz, Trey Morgan will be back. So that team's going to be absolutely loaded. So, how can Tennessee kind of? I'm gonna say match that, but you know, have guys with similar production.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, like you said, going to be one of the more loaded teams in the SEC.
Yeah, and you didn't play them this year, so I don't know what the SEC schedule looks like, but
I don't think they have it out yet.
Yeah, but I'm sure LSU will probably be on the schedule somewhere. And it'll probably be at Baton Rouge because they played here last time.
No, it doesn't look like they've released the 2023 schedule yet.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit before that happens, but yeah, I saw that yesterday, them just kind of loading up, and I'm like, damn it. But we got Maui Ahuna. We got one of those pieces. I think we could land another pitcher would probably help. Also, Seth Halverson's back. So that's going to be big for Tennessee to get a guy like that back in the rotation. I don't know what that rotation really looks like. Dolander's going to be part of it. Chase Burns. You know, you got Drew Beam. Seth Halverson can start, or he could be a reliever. He throws pretty hard. He was Missouri's ace a couple years ago. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how that looks.
Yeah. Excited again for another
run it back.
Expect another big year. It'll be another fun year for sure.
Zach Joyce, he's back.
It's interesting.
We got some pieces.
Oh, for sure. For sure. All right, do we get any questions before the show?
I didn't see any.
All right, we got most important and failed. My phone died, so I have to try to remember some of these off the dome.
Okay.
I know my fail is I joked about maybe the Yankees getting worse with the change in ball and how they prep their game balls now, and they got no hit by the Astros yesterday. So
yeah, like 16 straight innings they didn't have a hit. It led into today too. But guess what? Aaron Judge hit that freaking 3-run walk-off in the 10th.
Didn't mean to skip on to the fail of the week, but needed to mention someone's Yankees.
I felt that shot, Caleb. I felt it.
My most important was the Lightning. They had a watch party for the game in Colorado the other night at their arena, and they had I don't know exactly the technology, but they had on the ice, like the lights were off. I'm sure most people watch on the Jumbotron anyways. I'm sure no one watched this, but they had real live game updates on the ice. So it had like a projection of the players moving around on the ice. It looked very cool.
Well, like a game cast kind of thing?
Yeah, like a game cast, and then it was just individual players, like they had the goalies in their positions, and then people, quote unquote, skating around on the ice. It was very cool. It was very neat.
Mine is the Neyland Stadium renovations. Getting some stadium Wi-Fi.
I hope it happens this season. Good Lord.
It's about damn time.
Yeah, I hope it's in place for this one.
There's no way it's going to be great, but it's got to be better than what they got now.
And if you don't, okay, yeah, good point. It's probably not going to be great. So let's do this. With the stadium Wi-Fi, can we get better score updates, please? Because that's really what I want my phone for most of the time in the stadium, is I want to check scores of other games.
Yeah, there's like one place where you can see scores, but they really only show the SEC. They don't really show the top 25
and they're rarely updated by like series.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually quarter updates.
Yeah.
They're slow to update them. So just give us a better place to check scores. Even if it's on a board, like a TV in the concourse. Like when I go out to the bathroom, let me check scores.
Okay. Little TV next to the concession stand or something?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they have those TVs next to concession stands, but they're just running the game, which is nice. I appreciate that. But I'd like score updates too.
Yeah, there should be more than just one like goes across the screen. It should be like a couple that you could be you should be able to see. Yeah, I agree with that. I like that.
Wi-Fi will be good though. If it's good Wi-Fi. It's gonna be Verizon probably.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Last most important I have is Max Ferguson. Stole his 50th base so far this season in the minors. So really killing it.
How many games have they played in the minors?
I can look that up actually.
It can't be that many. What do you think? 60 to maybe 70 games?
Doesn't give me games.
Can you see the record? What's the?
He's got 235 at bats this season.
Oh shoot! What's his team name?
Lake Elsinore Storm.
What's that at?
That is in
San Diego? No. Over there. They're the affiliate of the Padres.
I don't know where Lake Elsinore is.
It's somewhere in California.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Or they're in the California League at least. So
68 games.
That's a lot of stolen bases for
68
that is.
games. Yep.
Jeez. Wow. Good for him.
Yeah. Any more most important?
Mm-mm.
I got to fail, and I'm gonna send this to you because I want you to see this.
Is it a picture or video?
It's a picture.
Okay. Should get on.
So fails on Michigan State for their recruiting. Oh. They literally have just a I don't even know what you call this, like a love seat kind of thing.
Oh. What?
And a goat on a leash.
Yeah, what is happening?
I just sent it to you. Did you get it?
Yeah, what is going on?
Oh, you can't. Your phone's dead. I forgot you can't see it.
I can see it on my. No, I can see it. I mean,
what the hell? That's
Yeah,
the
I don't
cool photo shoot that you do. What's the go have to do with anything?
I don't know. That jacket's pretty sweet though. But yeah, what is going on? Interesting. I don't understand it.
Yeah, would you call that a love seat, or would you call it like a?
That just looks like a mid-century recliner, like a therapist type deal.
Yeah, that's what therapeutic. God, what are those things called?
The couches that they have. I don't know. I'd like to see the results of this photo shoot. Are they just laying down with the goat? Are
I
they?
guess.
Wait a minute. So here's the question: is there a video of them doing it to the goat, or do we just have to assume that they did do it to the goat?
I don't know. I just I don't understand what this. Like,
They
how
took
do
our
you
question.
take this and be like, dude,
They took
you
our
got to
question.
go to Michigan State, dude. You can take a picture with a goat. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear the explanation. Also, the goat doesn't have horns. That's not cool. Like a baby goat.
Yeah, like they're the Spartans. That's nothing to do with it.
I don't know. I'm out. I don't understand half recruiting anyways, so
Yeah, that's good.
I'm out of that. Well, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Oh, this is cool. So NBA draft. There was a graphic of the Kings. It was one pick away from greatness. Did you see this?
No.
Dude, what are those foldable like couch into a bed? What are those called? I can't
Um,
think of what it's
Oh my
called.
gosh. Murphy beds.
No,
Oh wait, couch into a bed. Futons.
futon. Yeah, that's what that looks like on the field.
Oh, okay.
Futon and a go. That's your big recruiting pitch. Good for you. But yeah, this is a graphic about the Kings, and it was one pick away from greatness. It had 2011 pick, 2012 pick, and 2018 pick. So their 2011 pick was Jimmer Fredette, and it had the next pick behind them. So the next pick behind Jimmer Fredette was Klay Thompson in 2011. Terrence Robinson was their number 5 pick in 2012. The pick behind him was Damian Lillard to the Trailblazers. And then 2018, they picked Marvin Bagley, number 2 overall. The number 3 player was Luka Doncic. So they had a chance to have Luka, Damian Lillard, and Klay Thompson. And they picked Jimmer Fredette, Terrence Robinson, and Marvin Bagley. And I bet you don't even you probably know Jimmer Fredette. Do you even know who Marvin Bagley or
I don't know Marvin Bagley. No.
he went to Duke? Terrence Robinson, I couldn't tell you where he went. But yeah, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's all I got for.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, did you see this? Sorry, I just saw this in my picks. USC is bringing the number 3 jersey out of retirement for Jordan Addison to wear, formerly worn by Carson Palmer and Keyshawn Johnson.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, was that part of his deal to USC? Was he gets to wear number 3?
That's pretty funny if that's the case.
Yeah. Also, like, if it's a retired number, don't you have to ask permission to? Like, wouldn't you have to ask Carson Palmer or Keyshawn Johnson?
You have to.
Maybe
You probably should, but I don't know if you have to.
Right. Yeah, that's a little bit strange. I don't know. Hopefully, it works out for him. Because if not, that's hilarious, and that's another fail for another day. All right, guys. Well, appreciate you listening.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
We'll see you on Thursday.
Yep, we'll be back. What is Thursday? What's today? The 23rd?
26th.
Oh, okay, it hasn't changed.
Thursday,
oh yeah,
30th.
Thursday would be the 30th. Okay. So getting close. I think the next Monday will be July 4th. We'll see if Francis gets in Tennessee's class. We'll be back. I don't know what we'll do. I think we have a special guest on Thursday. Now that I mention it,
Awesome.
So be back for that. We'll talk some more recruiting, more of just off-season rambling on until we get closer to football. And y'all have a good week. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.